All I smell is gas.
All I did was turn the key, Dad. It's not...
Something I can do you for?
Dad, what are you doing? Okay, let me just focus here, okay?
All right, princess.
Whoa! Fuck, man!
Go 3 weeks without food out here, but only 3 days without water.
The movie begins by introducing Jim Rhodes, a former military man now working as a U.S. Border Patrol agent. He lives a quiet, isolated life in the rugged mountains with his teenage daughter, Kim. Their relationship is a bit strained. Kim still carries emotional scars from her mother's death, and she often feels like her father doesn't truly understand her. To reconnect, Rhodes plans a hunting trip, hoping it will bring them closer at the same time. A group of armed criminals pull off a bank robbery. The heist goes wrong, and during their escape, tensions rise within the group. In the chaos, one of their own gets killed, showing just how unstable and dangerous they are. With police closing in, the remaining gang members flee into the wilderness, desperate to avoid capture. Deep in the forest, they stumble upon Kim while she's out alone. Seeing an opportunity, they kidnap her and force her to take them to her home, believing it will serve as the perfect remote hideout. They don't realize they've just stepped into the territory of someone far more dangerous than themselves. When Rhodes returns to the cabin, he immediately senses something is wrong. Within moments, he's ambushed and surrounded by the armed criminals. The gang leader lays out the situation clearly. If Rhodes wants to see his daughter alive, he has to cooperate and guide them safely through the mountains. Rhodes has no choice but to agree, but from the start, it's clear he's not just going to follow orders. As they move through the wilderness, he carefully observes the group, their behavior, their weaknesses, their lack of discipline. He knows this terrain better than anyone, and he begins quietly planning his counterattack. The criminals think they're in control, but the environment starts working against them. The mountains are harsh, unpredictable, and dangerous. Steep cliffs, dense forests, and freezing conditions begin to wear them down. Meanwhile, Rhodes moves with confidence. This is his home. The first crack in the group comes when Rhodes isolates one of the criminals during a tense moment. He strikes fast and kills him, making it look like an accident at first. The group begins to feel uneasy, but they're too desperate to turn back. As they continue, Rhodes escalates his tactics. He sets traps, creates diversions, and uses the terrain to his advantage. One by one, he picks them off. Each attack is sudden, brutal, and efficient. The criminals start to panic. They realize they're no longer the hunters. Kim, despite being held hostage, shows courage. She looks for opportunities to help her father and slow the criminals down. Her strength becomes a key factor, proving she's not just a victim but part of the fight. Tensions within the gang reach a breaking point. They argue, turn on each other, and begin to lose focus. Fear spreads quickly. Every shadow, every sound in the forest starts to feel like Rhodes closing in on them. Rhodes continues his relentless assault, eliminating more members of the group. His methods are calculated. He separates them, uses psychological pressure, and forces them into mistakes. The wilderness becomes a weapon in his hands. Eventually, it comes down to the final few criminals and their leader. By now, the leader is completely unhinged, driven by desperation and anger. He realizes too late that bringing Rhodes along was a fatal mistake. The final confrontation builds in intensity. Rhodes manages to rescue Kim, but the danger isn't over yet. The leader corners them, leading to a brutal showdown in the middle of the mountains. That it's a raw, physical fight. No tricks, no escape, just survival. Rhodes uses all his experience, strength, and determination. After a hard-fought battle, he finally overpowers the last criminal and kills him, ending the threat once and for all. With the danger gone, Rhodes and Kim are finally safe. The nightmare is over. In the quiet aftermath, their bond is stronger than ever. They've survived something brutal together, and it's brought them closer. In the end, what started as a desperate escape plan for a group of criminals turned into their worst mistake. They thought they could hide in the wilderness, but they walked straight into the territory of a man who knew how to hunt. And this time, they were the prey.